Ben Ingram here. Happy to have you with us here at 680 The Fan. We're joined now by Dr. Mark Kovacs, who is the sports science director at Life University. And Doctor, here to talk to people today about the 2016 Baseball and Sports Performance Conference. And I know that you guys are very excited about this. It'll be taking place this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, on the campus of Life University. Saturday from 7:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then Sunday from 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And I was looking at some of the people that you guys have speaking and there for this event. You guys have to be extremely excited to have such a big event and providing such a tremendous outreach in this industry.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the great events that we have on campus because we've got over 10 major league teams represented. It's a health medical focused conference, so the university and the Life Sports Science Institute partnered with the Professional Baseball Chiropractic Society. And we've got a number of experts that work with a number of teams across Major League Baseball. We've got the Yankees involved. We've got the Braves involved with Andrew Hauser, who's a local flavor to this event. And we're really excited also to have the first ever full-time female head athletic trainer in the Major League Baseball, Sue Falsoni, who's a really close friend of mine and worked with her for many years. So we're really, really excited about the group of speakers, but also the people attending. We've got phenomenal attendees from athletic trainers, strength coaches, chiropractors, pitching coaches. All sorts of folks are coming to sort of learn and network and be around some of the smartest people in baseball.
Well, a lot of moving parts, and it took a lot of coordinating to get this entire thing together. How did this event come about, and what is your role as chair of the event?
Sure. So, my role on campus, I direct the Life Sports Science Institute, which is a research and education institute on campus. And we were approached about a year ago from the Professional Baseball Chiropractic Society to talk about hosting their year-end board meeting and some, administrative meetings that they have every year. And so we put our heads together and said, well, we can definitely do that, but why don't we broaden it and make it sort of a really nice big event, do some education around it. So that was how the sort of idea came about. And this is the first year of this conference, and we've had a great success, great turnout. So we're probably looking to do this over many years now.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting to have the inaugural event. And of course, that'll be this Saturday and Sunday on the campus of Life University. It's a very unique conference. And I was looking at some of the names that you're going to be having, some of the top names in baseball health, performance, injury prevention. Tell us about the speakers who you have scheduled and what we'll be hearing from those people and what they'll be covering.
Sure. So, one of the big names is Steve Donahue, who's been with the New York Yankees for over 25 years. So he's seen it all. He's been in the trenches, literally in the dugout for the entire time, worked his way up, from an assistant all the way to head athletic trainer now. So he's sharing his wisdom from an interesting viewpoint. Then we have Andrew Hauser from the Atlanta Braves, who oversees the health and medical side, and talking about how he looks at different aspects of the athlete from a health and medical standpoint. We've got a lot of focus on the young athlete, which is a big area of interest for not only the major league folks because they want their athletes to be healthy when they get there, but a lot of the people that are attending. They work with high school baseball players, little league baseball players, and we know there's a big epidemic right now in UCL injuries, arm injuries, elbow injuries, and it shouldn't be happening. So one of the things is we're going to be presenting the latest research about what we do know, what helps, and what people out there should be doing, from parents to coaches to sports science folks involved with them. So we've got a really great group of people focused on upper aspects, so the shoulder and elbow, as well as a lot of things related to hitting, core work for baseball. So we're really trying to bridge the gap between, it's not only looking at the injury side, but also how do we improve performance? How do we pitch harder? How do we hit further? How do we hit more consistently? And then we have the networking sessions, which is really a big piece of this. These people all are committed to baseball, and that's their life. They work in the sport. They're passionate about it. Most of them are former players. So it's really a way to network with different folks that want to work in baseball, that want to network with individuals that really are the smartest minds in the sport.
And you're covering such a wide range from youth baseball all the way up to the big leagues. That being said, what kind of audience are you expecting? I know this is the inaugural conference, so what are you expecting in terms of the audience?
So we definitely have a wide group of folks coming. A majority of them work in the sort of healthcare space. They're either athletic trainers, physical therapists, chiropractors, strength coaches, Some medical doctors are coming as well. And then you have your pitching coaches. You've got probably some excited parents who saw this and they think, that maybe I'll give them a little bit of extra knowledge about how to help their kids progress through the challenges of going from high school ball to college ball and maybe even into the pros. So it's really a wide mix, but it's really aimed at that healthcare focused provider, someone that works with the baseball athlete and someone that really, wants to do a better job of making sure that that athlete is healthier, but also can perform at their highest level.
Yeah, and if I'm watching at home and I'm sitting here thinking, okay, all these things that Dr. Kovacs is saying are interesting to me. How can I get involved? How would someone be able to register? Should they, and are there still spots available for the weekend?
Yeah, so it's only coming up in a few days. We only have a couple spots left. There's only a few spots left because we're maxing out our space capacity actually right now. But if you go to lssi.life.edu, that's the conference website for the event, lssi.life.edu, and that's really the place where you'll see the agenda, you'll see the speakers, and then you'll be able to register as well.
I know you mentioned a lot of the major league trainers and folks like that will be here at the 2016 Baseball and Sports Performance Conference. If I'm a father and I have young kids and they're playing youth baseball, I know we mentioned the major league teams that will be there. How much of a focus will be on the youth aspect of the game?
Sure, it's a series of presentations. Actually, I'm doing two that have a big emphasis on the youth baseball. We're talking about the American Development Model, which for folks out there that may not be familiar with what it is, it's really a concept that the U.S. Olympic Committee fostered, and it's talking about how do we develop an athlete from their first exposure to the game all the way through to the pros, and how do we do a better job of developing these players. We're talking about pitch counts, we're talking about how many innings should someone pitch, how many games should you play, how much time off should you have throughout the year as a junior baseball player. And this is all based on evidence. What does the current literature tell us? There's some great researchers that have done phenomenal work in this area, and so we'll be sharing a lot of that to the audience. So that's definitively down the path of those individuals that have young baseball players that they're looking to develop.
It's so necessary too, because it's one thing when you get into professional ball players, minor leaguers, big leaguers, trying to figure things out, pitch count, how often to throw, things like that. It seems like nowadays they pretty much have that down to a science. But when it comes to youth baseball, there's still so much of an unknown because you're talking about working with undeveloped young men who are still continuing to grow and get strong. So just hearing information about that, I'm sure could help so many young youth ball players around the area.
Most definitely. I mean, the biggest question mark in all sports is, the pros have all the best resources, the best trainers, the best coaches, the best rehab, the best recovery techniques, and they throw a lot less than a 12-year-old or a 14-year-old or a 16-year-old. You've got to ask yourself why. So it's one of those scenarios we discuss. We talk about the benefits, where the risks lie. We talk about, fastballs versus curveballs. There's always a big debate about that, and there's a lot of misconceptions around that, and the latest data may be surprising. So there's some things about weighted balls, overweight, underweight balls for pitching, and what does the science tell us about that? Weighted bats as well. Should we be practicing with and without weighted bats, and how does that influence, swing mechanics and things of that nature? So all these type of topics that are really practical and useful will be discussed, as well as some in-depth areas of how do you take care of certain issues that typically come up in the baseball athlete. We always talk about the shoulder and the elbow, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on with the hips that really lead into upper extremity or upper arm issues. So taking care of the lower body is just as, if not more important in the baseball athlete to avoid some of these upper body problems. And many players don't focus on that. They focus on their arm care programs and their tough cuff programs and all of this without taking care of the lower body, which is where everything happens. From the ground up. It's the kinetic chain concept, and we really go into a lot of detail about that.
Well, you guys are the best of the business at what you do, and I know that people who attend are going to be very glad that they attended and showing up years to come. So I know you guys are going to do a great job and knock this one out of the park, and thanks so much for your time today talking to us about this event at Life University this weekend.
I appreciate you having me on, and yeah, again, for more information, go to lssi.life.edu and register.
That will be the 2016 Baseball and Sports Performance Conference this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, on the campus of Life University, Saturday from 7:30 a.m. to 7 o'clock p.m., and then Sunday 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And we appreciate you joining us today. That's Dr. Mark Kovacs. He'll have a lot more coming for you this weekend. I'm Ben Ingram from 680 The Fan.